Introducing the Exercise Spotlight, a new series from Jeffrey Verity Schofield. Oh yeah.
What's up everyone? So I'm very excited to announce a new series on the channel where I just explain one exercise in one video. So it's going to be very brief, very to the point, information packed. I'm just going to explain what is it, why do it, and how to do it. So what, why, how for each specific exercise. So we're going to be starting with the spider curl. So what is it? A spider curl is just a curl variation where you are leaned forward on an incline bench. This has a few very attractive properties. So the first is going to be that it takes the lower back out of the exercise. So you cannot cheat. You have to use only the biceps. So this is going to be more of an isolation type movement than a standard standing curl. More importantly, this actually changes what is called the strength curve. So the strength curve is just where in the range of motion is it most difficult. So on a bench press, it is difficult in the middle part of the range of motion. So the top is quite easy, the bottom is also quite easy. You have a sticking point in the middle part of the range of motion. And a normal curl is the same. The top is very easy, you can just hold the weight there. And the bottom is very easy, you can just let it hang down, but the middle is very difficult. In this movement, a spider curl, because you are leaned forward, the top is actually the most difficult. So what you can actually do is first go to failure, then you can do partial reps as shown here. So you go to failure with full reps, and then eventually you're not going to be able to go all the way up, and then you do 2/3 reps, half reps, 1/3 reps, until you do little baby reps, and your biceps are just absolutely destroyed. And you can do these partials with normal curls, but they are not going to be nearly as effective, and they can be a little bit unsafe, especially if you're cheating or if you're unstable. With this type of movement, as you can see, the lower back is in a stable and supported position, and so you can just focus on curling the weight up. However, you usually cannot use as much weight on a spider curl compared to a normal curl. Also, it is typically more suitable for higher reps. So how I like to program this is in a couple ways. First, you can do it at the end of the workout. This is more of a high rep finisher to just burn out the muscle. Just attack the biceps and really just fatigue them to where they will grow. Alternatively, you can put them at the beginning of the workout as more of an activation movement. Because you cannot cheat, you really are forced to use the biceps. In fact, you can feel the biceps contracting perhaps more strongly than with a standard curl. With a standard curl, because there's no real tension at the top, it's hard to get a good contraction. But with this movement, because again, the strength curve, it is most difficult at the top, well, you can get a sick, wicked contraction, bro. Now, in terms of your technique, this is one thing that I don't like about a lot of YouTube tutorials. They tell you what you should look like, but they don't tell you what you should feel. And what you should feel is going to be a lot more useful for most people. So what I like to do is actually to keep my elbows as low as possible. So don't shrug up, keep your shoulders down, and keep your elbows down. This is going to ensure that you keep as much tension on those biceps as possible. I also like to use a fairly narrow grip and focus on the pinkies. One of the functions of the bicep is actually to turn the palm up. So if you're curling with your pinky, you can fully activate and contract the bicep. If you're not pulling with your pinky, you are probably missing out on a little bit of activation. So make sure you are pulling with the pinky and you are actively trying to bring your palm up. I find this is most important with a narrow grip. With a wider grip, this isn't really going to be as possible. You should experiment with both. They hit the two heads of the biceps, two heads, slightly differently. So I prefer a narrow grip for most sets, but you can experiment with a wider grip if you want to. I'm also using an easy curl bar here. That is not 100% necessary, but I think it can help. You can also use an overhand reverse grip, which is going to work a little bit more forearm and a little bit more brachialis, which is that muscle between the biceps and the triceps. You can't really see it on me right now because I am not that lean, but if you are lean, you should be able to see separation between the brachialis, the biceps, and the triceps. And an overhand or hammer grip are going to be much better ways to work that muscle. You can also see the brachioradialis, that top of the forearm muscle, the happy time muscle, that is also working quite a bit with this exercise. I wouldn't say this is better or worse than an underhand grip. They are just completely different. They're working completely different parts of the upper arm, and you can and should do both. Again, doing some partials here, really just trying to squeeze that muscle and feel the contraction. What you can do, again, do partials, and you can see this is quite unpleasant, but it is absolutely amazing when it comes to growth. By the way, these are actually real weights and real sets that I'm doing in a real workout. I think it's amazing how I can just use real weights and I don't need to do it for demonstration purposes. Amazing, right? Here I am using dumbbells. I don't particularly like dumbbells when it comes to this exercise, but you are different than me, so maybe you do like them, and definitely give them a shot. If you have any kind of left to right imbalance, this can help identify if you might have a future potential problem. So let me know which exercises you want me to cover. If enough people like it, upvote it, whatever, then I will definitely make it a priority. There are literally hundreds of exercises from my book and elsewhere to choose from, so there is definitely a long list when it comes to which exercises, but I want to prioritize the ones that people want to see. So upper, lower arms, shoulders, quads, anything, just any exercises, let me know what you want to see. That is all for today. Make sure to like the video if you like this kind of content. Let me know, give me your feedback, and I'll see you next time. Peace!